What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I wanted to do a quick video showing you guys the df command. Now, as I stated in the intro of the video, I wanted to show you guys the df command, and this command has been around for a very long time within the Unix/Linux operating system, and the whole purpose of this command or utility is to display a full summary of the available and used disk space on a Linux file system. So let me go ahead on and switch over to the terminal so I can give you guys a few examples of how to actually use the df command within the Linux file system. It's a terminal based command, and I'll walk you guys through it, then you guys can get a full understanding. Now let's get started. Okay, cool. So I have my terminal up and I'll be doing this on my main system. Now, the first thing I like to do whenever I'm showing a command is to show the man page. And so the command to do that is simply man df and press enter. And this will bring up that man page for us, and it says df report file system disk space usage. And there is the synopsis. It says df, then option, then file, and then description. This manual page documents the GNU version of df. df displays the amount of disk space available on the file system containing each file name argument. If no file name is given, the space available on all currently mounted file systems is shown, which is the base command. That's how it actually works. Disk space is shown in 1 kilobyte blocks by default, unless the environment variable is set, in which case 512 bytes blocks are used. Now, I won't read any more on the description, but they do have a whole bunch of options, and I'll go through pretty much the main ones that you will most likely use while using this utility. Now let's go on and quit the man page, but I just wanted to at least show you guys that you can get all the information about this command from the man page. They do have a manual for it. Now let's run the command as a base command with no options or anything, and all you have to do is type df and press enter, and this will pull up all that information that I was talking about when it comes to disk file systems or the file systems on your Linux operating system. And then I'll break down each column. This is basically the file system, so these are the names, and then the blocks. So this is broken up in 1K blocks, so basically 1024 blocks, bytes, you know, and then that's the block size, 1024. So it's broken out, you know, very small. And then the use space, it shows you the use space on that drive, and it's all in 1K. It's all in kilobytes format. And then you have the available, and then you have the use percentage, and then you have the mounted on. So this is the mount location of the actual file system that's on your operating system. Now there is more file systems out there on your operating system, and they're basically called dummy file systems, and you can show all of that by using the -a option, which is the next way I want to run it right fast. So I'm gonna just type df and then -a, and you'll see that the list actually grows because it includes like dummy file systems, which is what they call it. And you can kind of see them by the name, like procs, sys. Those are like dummy file systems. Now that I showed you how to look at them all, or just see all of them, I just wanted to show you guys how to make these numbers look a whole lot better, because right now they're in a format that's kind of hard to read. Well, there is an option you can use. It's called human readable, that will put these numbers in a format that's easily read by a human, and this option is the -h option. So let's type df and then -h and press enter, and this will put everything in a better format for you to understand. So as you can see, this dev file system is 16 gigabytes, the run 16 gigabytes, and it's all broken up. And then if it's smaller, like down here, you'll see this is the boot directory, or the actual partition that the boot directory is on, it's only 976 megabytes. So it'll break it out depending on what size the actual file is. So if it's less than a gig, it'll put it in megabytes. If it's less than megabytes, then 1 megabyte, it'll put it in kilobytes. And so that's the way it breaks it all out for you. Now that I showed you that, there is another column that is missing by default, and it all depends on what distribution you're using. Some of them, I've seen some distributions actually included, but it's actually the type. There's another column that goes in here, and it kind of breaks out the type of the file system, and I just wanted to show you guys that right fast as well. And I'll run it along with the H option, that way it's still in human readable. But if you type capital T after that, that will add that column that I was talking about that's missing, which is type. And as you can see, dev is a dev temporary file system, run is a temporary file system, this partition is ext4, that's my root partition. And the reason I know that because of where it's mounted, so that's mounted to my root partition. This is a temporary file system as well. Then my boot directory is vfat, and then my home directory is ext4. So that basically adds that column to the list, so you can get a little bit more information if you want it. Now that we broke in that column, there is another option. I'm gonna show you guys this right fast, but there's a lowercase t option, and the lowercase t option is to kind of specify the type that you want to see, and you can specify it by typing in that type. So, and that's why I'm running it after running this command, so we can see the different types. So let's say we only want to look at ext4s. Well, we could break it out by using the dash lowercase t option. So let's type that in. Let's press the up arrow. I'm gonna put a lowercase t, and then I'm gonna type in the file system that we actually want to see, or the file system type that we want to see. So ext4, and press enter. Boom. And as you can see, it only pulls in the ext4 file systems, and you don't have to worry about that column being there because we specified to only pull in ext4 file systems. So we know that these are strictly ext4 file systems. And you can do the exact same thing for, let's say, those temporary file systems that we've seen. So I'm gonna go down and type that in just so you guys can see. But tmpfs and press enter, and that'll pull those temporary file systems in and just show you all the information for those different file systems right there. Now let's say we want to look at a specific mount point, because you can actually look at the mount points. You can specify the mount point that you want to see, or the actual file system that you want to see. So let's and the best way to do it is by the mount points. So let's run df again, that way we can pull up everything again. But let's say we want to look at the boot directory specifically and not anything else, and we just want to pull the information just for the boot directory. And what we can do is type df, and then we can use the -h for human readable again, and all we have to do is specify that directory. So let's just type boot and press enter, and that'll show us that information. And you can do the exact same thing for any other file system. You can pull up the home, that'll pull up the full home, all the information about that as far as size, use size, available, and all that good stuff. Now there are a couple options out there as far sizes go. You can actually use the human readable version, and that'll show anything in gigabytes and above, and it'll also break down the megabytes and kilobyte sizes as well. But you can specify to see things in the kilobyte format if you want to, or the megabyte format if you want to, by using a specific option. And the kilobyte one is in 1024 byte blocks. So let's go on and run that right fast, which is basically the same as running it using df. It'll show it in kilobytes anyway. So let's press enter. That's the exact same thing you would see typically when you run just DF by itself. So in my opinion, that option is useless. But let's say you want to see it in megabytes. So they do have that option, -M. You can type that in and it will show everything in megabyte blocks. So 1 megabyte blocks. It'll show you the amounts. It'll show you the used, available, and used percentage, you know, all that good stuff. Now let's go down and clear right fast, because I want to show you one more thing again right fast. So if we type DF, and then that'll show everything. Let's say we want to exclude all those temporary file systems. Well, there is an option to exclude file systems. Now we could type DF and then -X, and then we could type temp FS and press enter, and that'll exclude all the temporary file systems. So let's say you want to exclude, you know, ext4. You can do that as well. So ext4, press enter, and that'll exclude all the ext4 file systems from your list. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. That breaks down that actual command, so you guys can get some information on how to actually use it if you need it. It's a very useful utility, and I think everyone should know this, especially if you're new to the Linux operating system. This is a easy way of finding out how much available space a file system actually has. So it's great to understand this command. I use it all the time when I'm looking at hard drives that I have connected. It could be a USB drive, any drive that you have connected to the system, or any file system. It will pull it up using the DF command, and it will give you, you know, the amount of space that's available and all that good stuff. Let's say you're hooking this up to a server. There is no GUI way of finding out, you know, how much space is available. Well, in that case, this command is very important, because this is something you need in order to find out that information quickly. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully someone got something out of it. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below, and of course, keep it techie.